Hey guys, welcome friends, family, and strangers, mainly strangers. Today I'm so excited because I get to finally come out of my shell, come out of something that I have been holding in for a very long time that I wanted to do but just afraid to do it. I am presenting my new broadcast special and I'm titling it, Might As Well Talk About It. Because there's something that needs to be discussed and that I'm sure a lot of people, if you're like me, you're afraid to talk about it. It's something that you try to hide away from, something you try to dodge, something you try to get away from because why? You're afraid to face it, the inevitable. And what do I mean by inevitable? I mean something that we can't control, something that we're not going to be able to stop it from happening. It's going to happen. So what am I talking about when I'm saying the inevitable? I'm sure you know what I mean. It's one of those heinous ideas that you cannot wrap your mind around. You can't accept it, but you got to. So you might as well talk about it. You might as well discuss it if you want to try to face it and conquer it. And as sure as it seems like I may be easy standing here and I seem calm and all collective talking about it, nah, straight up, this is something for me that has held me back from living. It has basically tortured me. It has held me hostage. It has held me captive in my mind. It has basically stripped away my peace. And I'm talking about being simply afraid of death. Not that you want to disrespect the Almighty God, because I want to let you know now I'm a child of God. You know, I show reverence to Him. I'm doing the best that I can to learn more, become more spiritual, but I have a morbid fear of it. Something happened in my past. Some of the therapists that I've talked with say that it comes from the past. When you have a fear of death or a phobia about death, they say that just comes from something that may have happened in your past, something that traumatized you. And I'll get to that in my later broadcast, but I want to show all my reverence to God, my respect to God. I owe Him that. I owe it to God to let Him do His job by having His will for my life to be done. I can't do nothing about it. If it is in God's will, for me to go whenever, I don't want God. I don't want to challenge God about that. But I am being honest with God when I say that, yes, I'm still afraid and I'm working on that. I still worry about it. It's like I'm stuck in the past, but then I keep thinking about the future. I can't get out of the future either. And it's like anybody out there can relate to being afraid of something like that for one, we can't change. We can't run from it. And not even just because you're afraid, but you refuse to die. And I mean, let me show you what I mean by refuse. It's going to happen, but just the idea of knowing that it is, you can't get that idea out of your head. And you think about that more than what's going on right in front of you. So if you're like that, if any of those things I just said to you sounds like you, then this broadcast is for you. I mean, at some point, I'm sure we're all afraid to die, but if it gets to a point where you are allowing it to stop you from living, then that's when it becomes a problem. I've become disgruntled and fed up with the whole idea that I have allowed it to take over my life completely. I am not the same person I was 3 years ago, and that's still not a bad thing either. I'm definitely changing, I'm evolving, I'm becoming better, I'm growing. But as far as just saying, I used to be spontaneous. I used to almost live fearless. Anything I wanted or I set my mind on or goal that I had, I went for it and I didn't let nothing stop me. I didn't let nobody get in my way. I didn't accept no for an answer. I just had that go get it mentality. But now that whatever happened to me, whatever traumatized me, whatever have finally come back to haunt me and have jumped on my back, it dropped me down to my knees to a point where now I'm afraid of everything. And the main thing that's holding me from moving forward is just that fear of dying. I'm constantly every day thinking I'm going to die, or everything is a sign, or God is telling me something. And I still very well feel that way from time to time. That's why I'm doing this broadcast. This broadcast is basically, or this platform is to bring together people whom are like me, are afraid of it. But if God does allow me 20, 30, 40, even 50 more years on this earth, and every day I'm sitting here living in fear, thinking about death every single day, like just thinking about that just can't stay out the past, can't think of, still in the past, should I say stuck in the past, can't stay out the future, and the present that's happening right now is just moments and time just passing by because I'm stuck either in the past or in the future because I think I can tell the future. So sometimes I feel like me being reluctant to accept death is what's kind of holding me back and what's kind of keeping me living long, which it sounds crazy, but it's like the moment if I decide to give in to my fears or say, you know what, I'm over it, then that's when I'm just gonna cash up out of here. And I'm not ready for that right now. So it's like some of us, right now we just don't know how to accept something else, something that, is not going to be this anymore. We know that this is temporary. Life here is temporary, and what's to come after is what's going to be for us forever. But this is what we know. So this is what we're used to right now. So we're trying to grasp and get a hold of the concept of accepting death. So the reason why I'm titling my broadcast, Might As Well Talk About It, because we got to get it out some type of way. And I've heard a lot of people say, you got to face your fears, or in order to, get over your phobias, you got to face it and conquer it somehow. Okay, but then what if your fear is death? How are we going to face that? We got to die to get no, that ain't happening. So we need to come up with a plan B of how to get over this. So my only thing that I could think of is, I guess, to talk about it, get it out, whatever is festering in your body, in your spirit, in your soul about it that's holding you back because it's a fear, you're afraid, is stripping you of your peace, is holding you captive. You can't think, you're in tunnel vision. You're just so afraid to live. I mean, keeping it bottled up, I'm assuming it ain't gonna get no better. I'm a product of it. I mean, I've lived afraid of it so bad that, these past 3 years has been a lot for me. I'll discuss that in further broadcasts, but right now I'm just wanting to introduce you all to my new broadcast that I hope that this platform would bring together people whom are just like me, afraid to die, afraid of death. And what this broadcast is doing, basically, it will discuss our fears. Any fears, though, not just death, but mainly death, but any fears or phobias that you all have, we'll discuss the fears. Why we are afraid and are afraid to die. A traumatic experience that led to this, that could have caused this thing that is holding us back now. I'm going to give tips. I'm going to give out tips and advice, anything that I learned, advice on death, giving words of wisdom, words of comfort, and words that will bring us closer to being comfortable with accepting the inevitable. I'm not here to force religion or force anyone into believing, what I think they should believe in. But I will say again, I am a child of God. So therefore, when I'm talking about giving words of encouragement, words of wisdom, they will be quoted from words that come from what God has given me or what I believe that, would help in any way. And I hope that, it will do exactly what I plan for it to do. And that's just to get us to come together and to one broadcast at a time, get to a point of accepting what we cannot change. In each episode, moving forward, each episode will basically have a topic question. I'm also going to share with you all some of my, what I used to do, or what I still do, is I used to journal. I'm going to share with you some of the things out of my journal so you can know that this is real. Like, I'm not making none of this up. I'm going to discuss all kinds of things that can help us. If you know anything that could bring us closer to understanding it, getting over it, anything, that's what this broadcast is merely about. So we might as well talk about it. We might as well get it out, get out what has been eating us up on the inside, what's been holding us back. We need to rant and talk about it. It's a talk therapy. That's what this broadcast is about. It's a way to discuss our fears, and everybody who can relate, who's going through the same thing, can all just talk about it. Comment. I want you to comment. I want you to hopefully, if I see that a lot of people are getting involved in my broadcast, I want to go live. And I'm hoping that just like me, there are others out there that feel the exact same way, that this will now be an opportunity for you to just let it out and just talk to me, because I feel you. I'm going through it. I'm trying to get through it. So that's what this broadcast is for. It's for me and for you. Not just for you, but it's for me too, because I'm trying to get through it as well. So that's what this is about. I'm very excited. Oh, and as I was saying, follow me on my other platforms. You can check out Periscope if you have that, at Palm University. That's POM University. You can also follow me on Instagram at Palm University. You can also log on to www.palmuniversity.us, or you can just subscribe here. Support me right now by even just subscribing. So if you're feeling me, you understand where I'm coming from, this broadcast is for you. Might as well talk about it. Might as well. So I'm excited. Stay tuned with me. There will definitely be more to come. Oh, I didn't even say who I was. I'm Ebony J, the star of this show. So join me. Let's get through this one broadcast at a time. Thank you.